Out there.
Talk about the language.
Well, I need the bench actually. But
Oh, fuck.
get up.
Kicking me on. Kicking me out.
Good morning, live. So, how was your week?
My week. Overall,
Try
it
to
was
put you guys
good.
somewhere.
My child
Maybe
lost
it's over
her
here.
entire mind for about 24 hours. You
What?
know, we retrieved it pretty quickly, but it was gone for a while. Like the
She had a
entire
for
mind.
real. She
Yeah,
had a moment.
she had a whole moment that lasted about a whole day. Yeah, that was fun.
Just the
That was
whole
fun.
day.
Just the whole motherfucking day.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
so that was the highlight of my week. My child losing her mind and slowly coming back down.
so what was the good of the week? The
um
slowly coming back down.
yeah, the slowly coming back down, and then also I like this really dope idea to do some things for the month of May from mom came to mind in one of my meditations. So kind of like now taking like those little thoughts and how do I formulate that into something? Like
Okay.
what does it look like in the real like physical form? Like the idea comes in like just different thoughts and like
Mm-hmm.
different phrases and different things. I'm like, all right, now what does that look like to Instagram, or what does that look like to my website, or what does that look like to, you know, whatever content that I'm putting out for May? Like, how does this translate? So,
Got you.
literally as I was coming up here in the elevator, I'm like setting a voice note to myself, kind of like
Remembering the
recalling
ideas and
everything.
everything you want to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So even though that just happened like within the last 24 hours, that was like the best thing to happen this week. So I guess that was a nice
That's
way to end the week
awesome. That was a
off,
nice way to end the week. And that's a nice way to
given the
start the weekend.
episode we had.
Okay. That's good. I like that. I like
Yes.
that. And I know there's so many times I look back in my notes and I just have like these random quotes and just things that started right and that I didn't finish, or just like ideas that I
Yes.
had. And
Mm-hmm.
it's good to just put them down because you forget them, especially when you high. You come up with the best
Listen,
ideas.
that's what I'm saying. People don't be
I'm a
understanding the
genius when I'm
power of
high. I be
that.
coming up with like the best ideas, and then years later, people put them into fruition. And I be looking at everybody like, "I told y'all," but y'all didn't. Y'all ain't want to listen. This week was good for me because it was 420,
Right?
and it was,
Right. That was the day my child lost her mind.
oh,
So
ooh.
like it wasn't even the 420 that it could have been for
So
me
I'm upset.
because she lost.
Don't mess up my 420 now.
What the hell? Yes.
Yes,
I was so
but my
upset.
420, my mom actually passed away on 420. So I'm always
Mm,
like, she knew what she was doing. Like she knew I was gonna need this day.
that is
So like even if I
funny.
like go to like work and stuff, I'm like I don't work on 420. I don't. What's that? I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
Like so
that's
I usually do
cool.
something cool and exciting, or just like I just take my son to like the zoo or like botanical gardens, or we just have a day.
Mm-hmm,
But this year I
mm-hmm.
didn't do anything with him because one, he doesn't like outside, and like
He
he
doesn't like
doesn't.
outside.
No, he's not.
I can't.
He's not going outside, especially now it's springtime. He's like, what, bugs? No,
Ah, I see, I
butterfly.
see, I
And
see.
he's most terrified of butterflies.
Oh,
Like,
butterflies.
nothing. Like full on freaking tantrum. Like screaming. Like don't have your scooter. Don't let him have his
No.
scooter because he'll start swinging the scooter around. And I'm like, you're gonna kill yourself with the scooter
I
before you
can't.
kill yourself. What? He's had so
Right.
many tantrums.
Those
Like,
nails, though.
thank
Those
you.
nails. I
Thank
love
you.
those. Very, very
Nailed
nice.
by Cindy Lou. She comes to your house.
I need that info for my daughter because she be trying to find these little nail technicians she be going to.
she,
They need to get their lives. The
oh, they're not.
Instagram nail,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a lot of them. They be young. I'm here for the entrepreneurship and do your thing, but they don't got no type of customer service skills. They
No,
rude
and
as
they
fuck.
don't know. Like you're still learning. Okay, I'm gonna wait a while
Right.
until you've like
So I'm
perfected.
gonna need her number. I'm gonna need her
Right.
Instagram.
She was really good, but she's really young too, and she's not even doing it for like 3 years.
No,
These are
3 years.
COVID nail style, but
I
she's
get.
but she's
I get.
Asian, and it's in the blood. Just saying.
I can't. I'm
But
done.
so,
She do her
but she did a
thing.
good job. I mean, I'm feeling like a whole bird. Like I got the cow nails. I'm like, I keep having the Doja Cat song, moo. But I'm still cute, so it doesn't matter. Hi, everybody. So last week we ended off with, what did we end off with? Well, we went into like we was going somewhere and we didn't know we was going there, but we happy we got there. One of my friends in the live asked, how do you feel about polygamy?
Mhm.
And Like I have my own thoughts and stuff. But I'll let you go first.
Okay, I'm
You
here for
know,
going first.
since it's a big thing nowadays in our.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like it's been a big thing. Like it's been a thing
yeah, right. It's
forever.
always existed, but
But
I feel like, especially amongst like a certain generation of like Black folk, it's
mhm.
starting to grow. It's been like a slow growing, I say, over the last like 3 or 4 years. And for me, like, I definitely do not believe that we are meant to be with one person forever, and that, like, I don't believe that's realistic. Like, when we think about just human nature in general, that doesn't sound natural,
Mhm.
right? Nothing is that one dimensional at all, right? So, like, that's a fact. But what I also think is a fact is that the way that our culture is set up, there's really not a safe space for people to show up in that way yet. Do I think we're evolving there? Yeah. But I don't think we're there yet. And so what that means is that people are like behind the scenes experimenting
Mhm.
with these concepts.
Mhm.
Some in some cases I think have purpose and intent, right? Of like building a community or growing
Mhm.
generational well, like that's a thing. Like, and it can work that way, right? There are whole. I remember when I went to Ghana, just witnessing the concept of like entire tribes where like this is
Is what
the
it
one
yep.
man and all of
All the
these women are
women.
his wives and all like that shit blew me. But that's like, and now the whole term is polygamy, polyamory. I know they're all different.
Right.
I'm just speaking of the idea of like having multiple wives, having multiple husbands, and
Mhm.
building a family in that way, right? That's a thing. But then there's also the side of it that's like just human nature, right? We're sexual beings. We have natural instincts. Sex is a part of like our existence and our ability to survive. We need that level of connection, right? So that's real also. Um, but I feel like people be playing games and they out here just trying to fuck around. Like, if you just
And you
want to
just
fuck
want your
around,
cake
just
and eat
fuck
it
around,
too. You just want to have your
right?
cake and eat it too.
But
Let's
I
be
do
real.
think there's a space for like I've met a couple where like they've been practicing bringing other people into the relationship for as long as their relationship existed, right? And it's for different reasons. So maybe there's something, that the husband is into and the wife is just like, that's really
I'm
not
not
my
doing
thing,
that,
but like, who the fuck
but
am I to
okay,
take?
who's that? Gentlemen, 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 gentlemen,
Hello.
gentlemen, 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 gentlemen.
You got a
Jenna,
bag. You got a
who's in the
bag.
okay? And hello, okay, sunshine,
Oh, I just
bringing
peeped the
spring with
whole
the
neck situation
tangerine.
going on.
Ah, ah. Hello,
I love
welcome,
it.
welcome,
Oh,
welcome.
that was a grand
You right
entrance.
on time. I need you to close that door though, cause they be loud as hell. What's up, bro? Oh. She got her punch. She got the container, y'all.
I love it.
When the container comes
She got a
through
drink in her cup. It's peachy.
and her two step, you look gorgeous. Well, you walked in when we were talking about polygamy,
Yeah.
and Tanika was explaining how she felt about it.
Oh yes, I was. I love.
Look
I
at
love
her.
your accent. Are the mics on?
Tangerine. Mic on, mics on, mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, she got the skulls on.
I
Okay,
love.
bling
That's my
bling. I like
favorite
I want to
part.
I
I got
got
the
bling
earrings too.
Oh,
I was thinking
bling.
about
I
changing the
I
bling
earrings.
love it.
bling.
Should I put the earring
Bling
on?
bling.
Should I put
I
the
Bling
earring?
bling.
actually
That's
like
how.
that
That's
the
when you
earrings
know
are like
somebody's
I have
subtle,
like.
some
and then you
boots.
have
That's when you
like
know somebody's about to
the
go on vacation.
blinging.
You see her, right? You see her looking like she's looking at her. She's like,
I got
"Hey,
the D&G
bitches, I'm about to be out of here,
slides.
bitches. I got my sandals on.
I
I
love
got
it.
giving body yaddy yaddy yaddy.
Okay.
Here we go."
Yes. Hello, guys. Hold on. Let me put my mask on. I'm sitting on whose ass is
I
I hate it when
cannot.
these
So there's this
motherfuckers
show that I watch called Good Trouble, and there's this character on it where she has a boyfriend
Mhm.
and she works with this other dude who who has a relationship where his girlfriend has another boyfriend and he can
Right.
have other
Right.
girlfriends outside
Right.
of it.
Right.
So she starts, of course, falling for this dude, and
Mhm.
then like the boyfriend. He finds out that the guy has that type of relationship. He's like, "Why you didn't tell me if you knew that's what like he does?" And she was like, "Doesn't matter." So she ended up like going to her therapist and talking to
Mhm.
her therapist about it. And then like they end the show with her saying like, even though I love Isaac, her boyfriend, da 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 da
Mhm.
da, I still want to have a relationship with Dante, but still be with Isaac. And mind you, Isaac is sitting right there with the therapist. So I'm like,
Oh, I
oh,
feel like
hell no.
no,
I'm
because
like,
I didn't see your
no, no, no,
message,
no,
so
no.
I already left. I'm sorry.
So I'm just like, damn. So for
but it should be like that. We should be able to freely express, especially when we're not married,
right.
right? Like, again, I don't think it's natural for us to have that expectation of each other, but I don't think that we yet know how to move in that way without it being like awkward and uncomfortable, or people feeling like they need to
I agree.
sneak or not tell full stories or
Right.
not expose. And even like, I think there's also this idea from men that women aren't here for it. There are women that are totally here
Oh,
for
absolutely.
it, right?
I'm
And
not
they're
saying that I am.
afraid to even
Weekends and
introduce
holidays,
it.
but I'm just saying only
Right.
weekends and holidays. And if it's a holiday weekend, bitch.
I can't.
I'm just saying.
Listen, I'm here to damper on the parade.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Damper on the parade.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
I'm here to damper on the parade a little bit. I mean, I agree with everything that you guys are saying. I think that there are definitely some women who are down with the shits. Like they here for everything or whatever. But for me, it's just I don't know. There's just I'm too. It's like I do believe that women need to start understanding the kind of art of just dating and just knowing what that means. But as far as like polygamy and like being polyamorous, because I do know a few people who are polyamorous. Polygamy is, it's kind of like flows, but they're kind of like different or whatever. Polyamorous is like, everybody knows what's happening and everyone just knows that they're in just one big happy thing and they accept it and they're all kind of living this lifestyle or whatever. But for me, listen, I'm crazy as fuck. Okay? I do not want to share my penis. I don't want to share anything. I'm not a good sharer, okay?
Right.
Pre-K gave me a negative.
Not
D
pre-K.
in that. I don't want to share.
I can't.
I don't want to share.
No, that's the thing, and
I
like
wanna share.
it's I don't want to share either, but I understand the lifestyle, right?
I
And
understand the
I
lifestyle.
think the
Not that I'm in it. Once again,
Yeah, you understand it, but you ain't it.
However,
but that's what it is. It's a lifestyle,
Yeah,
right?
it's
a
a lifestyle.
choice.
That's too much for me.
And I feel like your ability, as much as you are able to like detach from attachments and people and
Yeah.
labels and things, is as much as you're able to like be free within this lifestyle. For me, like I think as much as I understand it, just because of the era that I was raised in, like there's these fucking norms in your head of like, that thing that attachment to people and them being with only you, right? Like I still haven't completely unraveled that shit, so that's still a part of me. Like I can't deny that truth, but I do understand this shit, and I understand the mindset of being open and free enough to not be attached to that shit and live in that way. Like I've explored it. My first, like when I turned 36, I don't know what happened. All these like little young men started knocking my door.
Well, the
Gang, gang,
youngest.
gang,
All the youngest, right?
Gangs.
So I had this little 28-year-old like knock, and I was like, hello,
right.
and
that's right.
he wasn't even. He thought he was about it, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. Let's see. This sounds like fun. Like,
Did you feel in control?
That grown
because
woman
you were
shit different.
I
older?
didn't know what was gonna happen. I was just like, I'm here for the ride,
Right.
And come to find out, he wasn't even about it. Like you over here, like y'all playing games, like.
Slipping.
Just because they're young doesn't mean they want to be hoes,
Stop
okay?
playing.
He wanted you all to himself.
But no, what it was like, what are the boundaries as it relates to sharing information? Like, how much do I need
It's
to know
a conversation
about
of how much you want to
and do
communicate.
like,
right.
why do we need to talk about that? And then there's, and that's the thing, like people feeling like, oh, we're open, so we must share all these. No, we don't need to actually.
So I have this feeling where like, it's so bad, but it's sad. There isn't one man in my life anyway, dead or alive,
Okay.
who isn't in some way, some shape or form at some point in their life been a complete scumbag.
Wait.
Right?
Is it gonna what?
Has been a complete scumbag.
Oh, okay.
As in just you've cheated, you've been an asshole, whether it was your mom or your grandmother. And our past, like our mothers and grandmothers, they don't talk about that stuff. They don't tell you about that stuff. It was a happy marriage for 37 years, and that's all you need to know. And then you grow up and you realize, wait a minute, that was all lies. like,
Yes.
like dudes are just out here wildin'.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then you get to a point where, damn, I've been the faithful one, I've been the loyal one, I've been the married one, the divorced one, and it's just the same shit over and over and over again. So then you start setting your boundaries like, well, I'm going to take control of what I want. And I'm not going to give myself to one person fully.
Yeah.
And then you also feel like there isn't like every person you meet, you get something from that person,
Mhm.
That's
right?
true.
So there is no perfect man that has every single thing that you want.
And no perfect woman except for me.
Exactly. So she tried it. So
I love
it's
it.
like, so I understand if you want to, if you have people that you gravitate to in a different way that
Mhm.
you're attracted to. So I get it.
Yeah.
Would I be a part of it? I don't know. Because
Right.
there's also the dangerous parts of it. There's people who've gotten into these situations and ended up dead. Like there was a girl I knew that I went to school with. Like, I mean, like sleepovers, like father taught me how to make pizza, like, okay. 20
Pizza,
years
not the
later,
pizza.
20 years later, scrolling through Facebook,
Mm.
and such was in a three brothel, right,
Throuple.
relationship with a
Yeah.
Get
person,
out.
and she started getting jealous because the other woman tattooed the man's
Oh,
nickname
see,
on her, right?
this is what I
Yeah.
And
mean.
then
This is the
so
bullshit.
That's a
the
lot.
man, her and her husband or whatever, the other woman came to the house or whatever. They were all living together at one point, whatever. They cut her with bottles. They burnt her with cigarettes. They like cut her up, slashed her, and left her body on Suffern Boulevard.
Not Sufton Boulevard.
Yeah, right. So like that's a reflection. Like we
But
not ready.
you're not
We
ready.
not
Like,
ready.
don't like.
We're
Yeah.
not
Wait,
ready.
I
like
think-
what?
That's my point. Like we're not.
I
Our
think
world
that
is not
It
set
turned
up
into
yet.
a full
It's-
Lifetime
that's
movie,
crazy.
and I'm just like, nah.
I think we
Wow.
all are aware of some Lifetime
Wow.
movie situations where it ended up not exactly like that, but similar. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if I want to get. I don't want to shift the dynamic to this, but I mean, I know people who have been killed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know
Mhm.
people who have been murdered, like
Mhm.
real lifetime type of shit, and not to like downplay what you were just talking about. It's not a comparison, but it's just sometimes shit can get crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah.
things
And
can
you
get
never like
crazy.
people can switch
And
and
Yeah.
shit go
yeah, they
left.
switch, and because
We not
sometimes
ready.
you think that you're ready
And the
for it.
conversation, it's a constant conversation. It's
Mhm.
not something you like can get into and be like, okay, this is where I'm at. It's
Right.
like you constantly have to be talking and
Right.
communicating and like.
People can't even do
If
that when they're
anything,
with
it's
one
more.
And that's
person.
my
Right. I was just about to
point.
say, if
They can't do
anything,
that
it's
with
even
one
more work.
person.
That's my
'cause-
point of we're not ready. Like
Right.
we're not ready because we're not ready to communicate on that level. We're not ready because we're not ready to discover like what detachment looks like on that level.
Mhm.
We're not ready because we don't even understand our own physical bodies and sexual
Facts.
selves enough yet. Like we're not ready
Mhm.
as a people. Like are we evolving to that point? Yeah, because we're all beginning to look in the mirror and say, who are we? Discover ourselves. That's a whole big fucking thing.
Mhm.
And as you discover yourselves, all of those other things that I mentioned begin to evolve. But like we're not there yet. And so people are excited
that's
about the
okay.
hype. And
It's
right.
okay that we're not there yet, but we can't
But
bite
stop
off
fucking
more than
around
we
with
can
this
chew.
thing. Right.
Yeah.
Stop playing in this
Yeah.
field. Like,
Do you have a cup?
That's dangerous.
No,
Well,
I have my bottle, but it's
She's-
full with lemonade. What's
She
in
like,
your? What's
try
in
to
your?
help y'all out.
Kettle One lemonade and mango
Oh, well, we
punch
gonna
and,
throw this
and all type of
lemonade
shit.
in the sink,
Good.
and we
You
gonna.
got- she got
It's
some
just
virgin
It's just
lemonade.
regular simply lemonade.
Oh, shit.
You know.
Thank you.
Some virgin lemonade.
I mean,
I love it.
She has virgin
I've
lemonade.
been,
I
I've
mean,
been detoxing.
what-
Like I don't know. I was
listen.
trying to be good today. That's all.
So turn around. Do you
So-
want some virgin lemonade?
no,
or
I
do you
don't
some
want. I
vodka?
want vodka, but I have to throw this out first.
You don't have something.
I mean,
else
I guess
to
I could
like,
chug it, but then I'm gonna be peeing all day.
What you know what I'm gonna do? Listen, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pour mine in my cup, and then whatever's left, then we'll have space for the.
She's space has been created.
Look, there's space
There
that
is
you can
space
pour it in this.
everywhere. There is lots of space right now.
Ah!
She has created a safe space for the lemonade to live in.
I did that.
I told Danica to bring her cup, and she.
I
Roll it
didn't
up, it's
see
going
the
to the
memo.
All the way up. Danica, I guess that's your cup.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It is okay.
It's an invisible cup.
Okay.
So since you were talking about we're not ready because we haven't explored things in ourselves. How have you explored your sexual desires and like how do you know what you want?
Mm-hmm. That's still like an ongoing thing for me.
Mhm.
It
We
really
talked about
is.
that last
Yeah,
week.
like I didn't even have my first orgasm from like a sexual interaction with a man until I was 33 years old. So like I'm 40 now. So that was only 7 years ago. right? So like you can imagine, like that's still an ongoing thing for me, an ongoing discovery process. And so what comes along with that and why it's so ongoing is because like
She's like, make it stop.
a bitch be single, a bitch be single, right? So
Right.
I definitely have explored like on a solo level. I've explored myself and I've learned how to pleasure myself without needing toys because that was a big thing for a long time. I used toys not because, and I'm not downing toys, love them, but
I don't
I
like
used them
them.
because I didn't know how to do
Right.
fulfill myself. Like
Right.
it was hurting me more than it was helping me. And so when I got rid of those and began to just explore my own, that's been like a thing for me. Like, yeah, okay, self-discovery, I can pleasure myself. I don't need, like there's a point where I be rubbing myself for like an hour and it's like, oh, I got some women, like,
She rubs them 6 times a day. So I mean,
and that's now like 15 minutes. Like
Right.
that's a thing for me.
Mine is
That's
like
an
3
accomplishment.
seconds,
You know
like-
what? I'm done.
See,
Like,
but
I'm
see,
here for it.
see, but there's those like porns that are like specifically for you to just relax and know how to pleasure yourself.
What are those
Like,
keywords?
I
For
don't
the
remember,
people in the
but
room.
that's what I heard. I heard from a
You
friend
heard about it?
that it's like
okay.
those massage ones that be like
The
mad
tantric
slow,
massages.
right? But some of them have
it's too
like
much. Before I click
instructions.
play, I be done. Like,
Right. I told you I'd be scrolling and done before I even like pick one. So,
Yeah.
But some of them like honestly, that's how I stopped using toys and I still don't use toys. But they really they make because usually you like lay down, you'd be like, yeah, fuck this, let's get this over with, right? So it's like telling you to just relax, like take it slow, like and they work.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
That's
And
you
like,
can give yourself a tantric massage.
yeah,
like,
and you have to know how to pleasure yourself
Yes.
because half these niggas ain't doing it no way. So
they don't really know what they're doing.
They don't.
Like,
They
and
absolutely
it's not
don't.
to shit on them. Like they don't because no one taught them.
because
they learn
they
from
don't
porn.
care about
They, like,
anything but themselves. They're trying to pleasure themselves. I mean, some of them do care, but they just don't know how. Like last week we talked
Right.
about what like who taught you how
Right.
to have sex. And remember what I was saying, like you posed the question last week about like, would you rather someone teach you how to love or like teach you how to have sex? And I like you said before, I enjoy being able to have this journey. Like it sucks that it took you until 33 to have, but that's not something that's atypical. There's a lot of women
That's most
who have
women.
had that same experience.
70-something% of women have never had an orgasm.
And so the
that's
thing is
ridiculous.
like, who's teaching
no one.
everybody to have sex?
No
one.
That's a self-discovery thing. It's
It
something that
is.
you have to figure out what you like, what makes you happy. And part of doing that is like self pleasure. And everybody has their things. Like, I mean, I feel like if I'm looking on one of them sites, there's certain things that I'm typing in. What
Everybody's
are you
drawn
typing in?
to, like, their
what
things.
are you? And this might be really personal, but like, what do you type into the search box when you want to pleasure yourself? I will go last.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I love threesomes and group sex. Like
Word.
I've had those experiences as an individual, and those have been some of my most fulfilling sexual experiences. So that turns me on a lot to look at.
Group sex.
Yes.
Group meaning more than one or two?
Not like 20, not like no gang banging, like
Right.
20 dudes on one chick.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
It's a lot. But like, threesomes, maybe 2 guys and a girl, 2 girls and a guy, maybe 2 dudes and, 3 girls, my favorite is like what for me is like a fan. Like I've done 2 girls and a guy. So like that feels good to me to watch because I've experienced that.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced 2 girls and a chick. Would I like to one day in
Wait,
a safe
2 girls
space?
and a chick?
No, 1 girl. Oh, 2 guys and a chick is what I meant to say.
Oh,
like
okay.
2 guys and me.
No, I'm just clear.
Right. Like that's something that I would like to enjoy, but it's another thing that again I feel like our culture, our world hasn't created like a real safe space for. Right. It becomes this raunchy, nasty thing versus like this fulfilling experience to just fucking explore yourself.
So there was something. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There was something that I watched, and I think I may have sent it to you. Maybe not that specific clip, but there is this. I don't know if you would call it a podcast or whatever. It's called 8 Table or something, 8 to the Table. And this was a topic that they brought up, that there were some women who, like men want to have threesomes with 2 girls and them. Why is it such a taboo if a woman, and one of the guys, like all the other women were like, oh, that's crazy. But one of the guys was just like, listen, if we're in Miami, if we're in Vegas or whatever, and I'm with my girl, she's bad as fuck, whatever, and she wanted to be with another guy, like I feel like she's given me threesomes before, like maybe I wanna, maybe some people were open to that, and other people were against it who were in that eight
In the
of the
group.
group. But then for him, he stood his ground, and I like that. Guapo. Anyway, that's his name on Instagram. I'm gonna share it with you guys. And he basically was like, I mean, he's mad light skin, okay? Like the way he acts though. I'm sorry. I mean, I know I'm light skinned too, but like he acts mad light skinned. But when he had that point, I was just like, I enjoyed that because he was trying to break down the taboo.
Right. It is
like
a thing.
it's okay. Well, you want a threesome. All these men want threesomes with two women. Why can't why can't I have two guys?
And
maybe I mean, not to say me personally, but just like a woman, why is it such a taboo thing for that to happen?
Yep, it is a taboo thing. And that's why I say, like, there's not a safe space for me to have that experience without it being something that's like, secret, like dungeon party situation.
Well,
like why do I need to?
I want a dungeon in the house that I buy.
I mean, yes, I'm here for that.
Well, speaking of dungeon
So
parties,
what's your search? No, but we ain't answer though. What's your search? What's your search? What you type in? What do you type in? What do you type in when you
I lead with BBC. Let me just say that. Like everything starts with
yes,
BBC.
I can't.
Like,
I don't
like
fan
the pink
at all. I'm not a fan of anything pink.
I'm
I just that's just me.
So what's yours? What was yours?
I'm also a fan of threesomes, and I'm also a fan of just like watching dudes like eat pussy out.
Okay.
And
what else? Just say.
Yeah, and like the massage ones, really.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm gonna be the one that's gonna have to bust some shit out into the fucking world. For me, close your ears, guys. Everyone who doesn't want to hear this. For me,
the mic is all
when
the way
when I type in anal.
Oh yeah,
I do, because you know why? Because for me, that experience is not. I mean, this is taking it to a whole nother level that I didn't think that I would share. But I feel like for me, it's something different. It's a different type of experience if it's done correctly and if it's done right. Then it's almost like a totally different thing. And for me, I like to watch that because I'm like, oh my god, you want to see like what's going on with people, how they're experiencing that, and like what. I don't know. For me, because it's something different. I've done things. I didn't know what they feel like. I know, but when you see that, it's like, that's a little extra. That's a little something like separate and special. There's some people who are like, hell no.
Hell, that's me.
They're uncomfortable with that.
Nope.
Or whatever. But for me,
did you say no?
No, I'm not doing that. Can't do it. Don't do it. Stay away from my ass.
There's some people who are uncomfortable with that. But there's
head.
people who, for me, it's like, I feel like that's like a whole nother level if it's done correctly. And if it's done, you ain't just gonna meet somebody that you having a one night stand.
I mean, I guess that's what it is. Every experience I've had with that was not amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm good. Just like
it has to be someone that's being very nurturing to you and someone who you. In order for me, the few times that I've been like I want to, it's been because I felt so sexy and so aroused that I was like, what else can we do? Like, what else can we do that we haven't done? And so that's when it came to my mind. It wasn't like, that's not like an automatic thing that just automatically happens. It's something that if you feel like you reach this level of like, this like, oh my god, you just like want something else. It's almost like
you want to continue to explore.
You want to continue to explore, and you want something that's going to feel different than what you've experienced, and you want it to feel good. You hope it's going to feel good,
and it does. Like men's G spot. Not. I mean, I know you were talking about anal for women, but like men's G spot is in their fucking ass. Like there are things in that area of our body that get aroused. Like it's a real thing. Like we can't. We try to shun away from it. Be it's nasty. Like there's.
That's why they out here like. That's why they like they like their booty hole licks.
They don't.
Shit.
They be afraid to admit it.
But the
amount of men.
We're not gonna talk about. We're not gonna get all into that. But that's what they be doing.
The amount of men
I'm sorry. We didn't say. Can you demonstrate? Right.
They're throwing the legs up
and holding it back.
Listen. Stop
You
playing.
gotta get in that area.
What's that move? Tiara, you know the name. There's one, a butterfly. One called a butterfly. It's in my search. We was looking at it the other day. Like,
I don't want to see no strange dude.
No,
doing
sir.
it. But if it's somebody that I love,
no.
I mean,
I don't want to see
Maybe.
your balls.
I mean, I
I'm
don't know.
just
I
like,
said
I don't
no.
want to see your balls just like no, I don't want to see you bust it wide
Roll the
open.
leg.
Thank you.
I mean, don't
like,
get on all fours. I ain't but I mean, if I'm already doing what I'm doing, I might go a little lower to go underneath the balls in that little runway area.
That's a
The
powerful
gooch.
area.
That's a powerful
very
area.
powerful
I know.
very powerful area.
I know.
It's a very powerful area.
So
It's a powerful
I
area, and I
cannot-
know because I've been there.
Mhm.
I've been
so
there.
speaking of dungeons and being places,
Well, I've always wanted a dungeon in my new house that I'm about to buy.
Yes.
would you
Creating
or
a
have
dungeon.
you ever gone to a sex party?
No, but I know of some.
Yeah.
I know of some. Some people. I mean, I have a girlfriend who definitely shared with me that she's with, in the past when she was
I had an itch.
Oh, I'm like, so I'm like, it's something on my lips.
I
Like,
know. I just
she's like trying to give me the code language.
I'm just stabbing it.
No, so she shared with me that her and her guy would go to these parties. She gave me the information for it. Excuse me. I've never been to them or whatever, but I've been curious about them. And I feel like for me, I don't think that I would go by myself. I
Mhm.
would like to go with someone who I'm involved with, someone
Mhm.
who I feel sexually secure with, someone who, as crazy as I am, like we talked about it earlier, like I'm super like, when something is mine, it's mine. And that's with anything, material things, people, whatever. It's like my friends, whatever, my family. I'm very protective over the people that I care about. But I felt like when you feel very sexually secure with someone and
Mhm.
trusting someone, that could be a fun experience.
Exploration.
Because it's
yeah.
someone you would see people that you don't even really know,
Yep.
and this and that, whatever else. And so it's not like you ain't exchanging numbers, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, whatever. It's something that you can explore together. And I'm a
Right.
big person that feels like explore new things together. It's like I'm here for it. It's just, I mean, I've never done it, but I'm open to it with the right person.
Mhm.
Because I think that it could probably be a cool experience.
I agree with you. Same here. Like I haven't like done it, but I've been like ticket purchase and then like some shit happened.
Yeah.
Like I've wanted to do
It's
it.
nerve wracking a little. It's kind of like,
And I was
who
and
about
I
to be
wasn't
there,
even-
busting it wide open in front of me?
Right. Like what? Yeah, I will do it one day. I don't know when, but it's
All right. Well, you
horizon.
can always call me. So listen, I've experienced some sex parties.
Okay, so
And
please
first of
share.
all,
Please share.
I don't mind. First of all,
We're virgins. We have
first
no
of all,
idea.
No clue.
these people that are running these sex parties are making
Oh.
guap.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
a fact.
they're having sex parties. They're having a lunchtime sex party. They're having a
Mhm.
3 p.m. sex party, a 6 p.m., a 8 p.m.,
Mm.
10, 12. Like, it's like coded, like send you the address.
Mhm.
You got to knock on the door
Mhm.
3 times, give a code
Right.
to get in. So my
Right.
first experience, I got goosebumps. My first experience going,
Shut up. You ain't
first
got
of all,
goosebumps.
my first experience
You
going,
a
right?
freak.
I went with my homeboy, and right,
I can't.
right.
Homeboy.
I went with my homeboy, but I was just there as a spectator. To be clear,
That's what I wanted to do.
I
the
just
first
wanted.
time.
I was just here to observe.
Spectator.
Okay, it was all for content.
Mhm.
Okay, so we was
I
there.
feel like I don't know what you're about to say, but just the idea of somebody coming in, it's like I'm just gonna spectate. I feel like that's never gonna end that way. Like
No,
you're
it
going
actually
to-
did, ma'am.
Okay,
Hold on.
It did or it didn't?
In the name of Jesus. No, it did, and
Oh,
I went home.
That was my first.
But let's be clear. I had to
Somebody sucking
dodge
your titties?
mad bullets, male and female,
Yeah.
before that happened, right?
Wait, I just thought of something. Does it count? So I taught yoga at a sex party once. Does that count?
Yoga.
I did.
did
I
that
taught
work?
naked
Were you
yoga.
naked?
I
How'd
taught
that-
naked yoga,
how'd
and
that-
everybody was naked.
Listen.
Yeah.
See, I would do that.
Yeah,
I
like
would definitely
my
participate
room, like
in
there was
that.
a dungeon, there was different rooms.
That
My
should be a
room was
segue
the naked
into
yoga
that.
room.
That's a
Does that
good
count?
segue.
I
What did you
don't
see?
know.
Did you see just
No, it
what-
doesn't count because you didn't see shit. Listen, what happened? Let me tell you what
Yes,
happened.
I
Right.
said what happened. Sorry.
So it's like a
We both
hotel
got on
suite.
red lipstick
They just
today.
get these hotel suites, right? And
Airbnbs.
right, and they, you get there, you walk in the door, but they got a little bar set up. If you single, it's like
They have
$100.
different
If you a
rooms.
dude and you come with a girl, it's like $50. So that's why I went with my homeboy because it was cheaper, right?
Now,
so
did that particular place allow guys to come on their own? 'Cause-
yes, you could either come single
There's
or as a
different
couple.
places.
right? Because some places don't
So
let
it
men
was like
come on their own.
so
They
it
gotta
was
come with a
mainly
female.
sausage.
They pay
It was-
more, I know.
Yeah, they have to pay more, and you got to bring a bottle to get the drink that you're paying for. Whatever. Anyway, so we
There
got
was one in the West Village.
and it's a
that I
huge
heard
ass
about.
hotel suite. Some people in the living room watching porn. There's like a couple over there, Then in one room, there's like this 500-pound girl just getting back shots. Like you'd never see her face. Like, and dudes just standing around, just watching and waiting for their shot, right? And then another room is just a big old orgy going on in one room. So I was like bald and blonde at the time. So there's one woman all night, Blondie, come here, all night. Okay, there was one couple there, and the girl was shy, and she didn't want to do anything. Girl, 15 minutes later, homegirl is in the room, sucking her man's dick in the corner. I'm just like, wait. I said she got real comfortable,
real fast.
Secondly, I swear one of the people was one of my students. Like one of the dudes came up to me. One of the get the stuff up the counter. One of the kids came up to me and he was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see what you do." And I was just like, "Bruh." And I knew he was one of my students because you know when you see somebody and they can't have that face twice, like there's no way, like it's you. And he was mad young, so I'm like, it was a lot, but and then the person I was with, there was no way in hell you thought I was gonna participate with you or anybody else,
right?
Like in this space.
So
like
that's my question. Like, what were there people there that you would actually want to?
No, not at all. And it was just like it was weird. Most people were couples who like, and like the lady was breaking it down to me with her and her husband. She was like, "Why would I, allow him to? Why would just let him cheat on me and be out there with women and do things like that when we can just enjoy people and each other together?"
Have you heard of that resort? Hedonism. So I remember, okay, so there's two things. One, like I was telling you guys, my girlfriend had told me that, because I think there's different levels. There's different, like there's either some eyes wide shut shit where you're about to see some real rich shit. Motherfuckers in there.
Hell yeah.
There's different levels of it. Like you said, hotel suites, this and that, whatever. My friend, she gave me the rundown of it because I was really curious, because she actually wound up asking me like, "Oh, me and my boyfriend were interested in like a threesome." Like I have gotten asked to be a part of it. I was not, like I did not feel comfortable being a part of that. But it was like, I could tell that she was going to ask me that. But anyway, she told me that there was this place that was in the West Village. They have different locations. It's not like a specific, like a storefront, like, "Hey, come for the sex party."
Not at all.
But they have different locations or whatever. And they had different rooms. They had like a jail room with like the bars. Everywhere had condoms. Everywhere had like whatever for people to come. It just was like this huge space, and she's gone a few times with her significant other, and I just never got the chance to go, but I was like curious about it, so I would ask her questions. But also the other thing, what the hell was I saying that I wanted to talk about? Not just that, not her, but just what was the other thing?
Places.
The places, but
you were talking about there's different levels.
The different levels of it.
Yeah.
Yes, there's different levels of it. And I think that sometimes, like, if it's going to be a smaller party, then it feels a little bit more intimidating, because I would definitely go as a spectator. Who knows? I might let somebody suck a titty. I might let somebody lick my
I
butt
wasn't down
cheek.
for that. I was just there to watch. I just wanted to see what was going on.
But I'm not comfortable.
However, when I went home, your freak level's up. And you're like,
Yeah.
"Okay, boy."
I don't know if I was comfortable
You get it like
with
this, you can get it like
the
that.
idea.
But not over there.
I wasn't comfortable with the idea of, like, I feel like I was, even
Doing
as
it
possessive
in front
as
of
I am,
people.
I'm more comfortable with the guy that I'm with fucking someone than like me getting fucked by some random person.
Interesting.
And not to say, yeah, because I'm kind of like, I would say that I'm definitely very sexual, but I would say that when it comes to stuff like that, I'm kind of like a little bit like, I'm like, okay, you wear a condom, if that's gonna bring you some fun, like maybe I'll watch you and maybe it'd be good, even as psychotic as I am. But I'm not about. It takes a lot for me to be attracted to somebody. I'm not really attracted to a lot of people. So if I do feel attracted to you, just for me in particular, it's like a rare thing. I'm not. There's some women who are attracted to, like, anything could make them attracted to someone.
Right.
And for me, it's like a once every 10 years, like, I'm attracted to somebody. And so I can't go to a sex party and be like, "You know what? I just want you to fucking fuck me." Like, no, like, I can't.
I
don't. I feel like if I were to ever do, like, with two men and myself, it wouldn't be in that type of setting. It would definitely be something that sort of like evolved into that
Curated?
somehow.
Yeah.
Like not like planned per se, but like
More
these are
curated.
people that maybe have been around for a while, or maybe we've had like individual sexual experiences, and like now we're all
Yeah.
single and we're like, oh, like it would have to be something. It couldn't be like that either for me, because I wouldn't
Right.
even like
Couldn't.
be able
I'm
to
too
be
nervous
turned on.
about
Like it
that.
Like a
wouldn't
dude came up
even
to me, he's like,
like,
"How do you
yeah.
feel?" I was like, "I feel like it's Sunday, it's the Lord's day.
Right.
This is a
Like
lot.
I'd watch it and enjoy it in that way, but yeah.
But I'm not gonna participate.
Yeah,
I'm just here as a spectator.
Yeah. I
So,
want
I
to
I'ma
just
see
take it
play
back
with my
home.
body at that point.
But I'm
I'm
gonna take
not
it back
getting-
home and work on myself alone.
or get work done by your guy or
Exactly.
whatever, whoever
That's what I'm
you're
saying.
with.
For
Like,
the relationship, I get it, to like open up y'all sexual connection and all that stuff and explore things that you wouldn't explore
Right.
out on your own. Great.
Right.
But I'm gonna go again. Let me know when y'all ready.
No,
When y'all
I
wanna
feel the
go.
same way though about like even with another female, like the experiences that I have.
let's
the
talk
ones,
about that. Can we talk
right.
about one by one about our experiences with other
Mhm.
females? You can go first.
Yes, the ones that have been planned have been
One by one.
horrible.
Teacher
One
Tiffany.
by
Like
one.
I feel like
One by one. One by one.
I love it.
We're gonna go one at a time. Okay.
Teacher. Um,
I'm sorry.
the times
my
that it's
brain.
been planned, it's been a flop. Like they were
Mhm.
horrible because it feels like very much like you were just saying. Like it's just different.
You want it to be a natural experience.
Yes, natural. I wanted to evolve into that because it just does, not because someone's trying to force it. And in that particular
Men be trying
situation,
to force it.
yeah, it was just like this was his lifestyle, and I knew that, and I dated him, and I liked to play in it every now and then. But it became a thing where it was like, well, every time you come over, no.
Like
So
an
now that you know that you have the green lights, you think that every
That's
time
what
you come
it
over, you're
is?
just gonna go with some
No.
random bitch. Like no, right? Like the times that we did it, it was just like we're just hanging out. Because like everybody knows him.
Right.
Somebody just randomly pop by. We're watching like the BET or something random. We're just hanging
Somebody
out.
just forcing
We're
to
smoking.
lick your
We're
pussy.
Right.
like we're just vibing, and it just and I like didn't go into it like knowing things were gonna go down, but the energy just started evolving that way, and then next thing you know, and it was. But it happened. It felt good. Like it was someone I was actually attracted to. Like if we weren't in that setting, I might have looked at her ass twice, like just for fun. Like you know what I'm saying. So it and I've had a couple of those experiences like that where it's natural, it flows, it's not being pushed or forced. Like that feels safe. Like as opposed to like I'm over here and you looking through, you just like, oh, she about it, oh, she like these something. Let me go find a chick. No, get out of here.
There's a lot of I totally agree with that. I mean, for me, my first experience with a girl was in college. I mean, I know that seems so taboo, but I remember it being a girl who I wound up coming to school like close to. I went to Northeastern, and I went to like we had at that time we had trimesters. It was not like the semesters. It was broken down weird. So our start of the school session was like different, a little bit like later than other people. Most school starts in like middle of August. We didn't start until September like 8th.
Oh wow.
You know, because at that time in the beginning when I was there the first couple of years, it was trimesters. And so but I was the last one to come to move into my dorm, this and that, single mother, this and that. It was just like, all right, I'm coming at the last possible date. But I wound up meeting a girlfriend who I met during the summer. There was one summer when I worked at this like resort in Pennsylvania as like a babysitter, but at like this family resort. And she wound up being at Northeastern. So not with her. I didn't have the situation with her, but because of her, I met other friends. Because when you come to college and you don't know nobody, you're just by yourself. You have to meet people. You have to assimilate into a group. And for me, especially Northeastern was in Boston. There weren't a lot of black people at Northeastern. And so it was like all the black people you found each other. And so for me, it was easy for me. The track team was like, so there was this girl who we just instantly kind of clicked. I didn't think anything sexually about her or whatever in the beginning, but she was kind of the aggressor in the situation where she was just like, so have you ever been like, I wound up having a single my freshman year. A lot of people had freaking 5 people in their room. I made sure that my mother was filling out paperwork. I bubbled in. I want a single. You paying that extra because I want a room by myself. And I wind up getting that. And so, my spot was the hot spot because I had my own like room. I didn't have to share with like 22 bunk beds in a room. And so for me, it's because I snuck and did that shit anyway. If my mother would have known, like it would have been a problem.
It don't matter. You got it done.
I got it done. And I just felt like her and we were cool with each other, but then she would come back to my room and then we felt this energy. I felt it for me, I felt the energy that we were just cool. Like we were going to be friends. We were going to get close quickly because I just felt this energy. But then she started asking me, have you ever been with a girl? Have you ever been with this? I would say that with girls too, the feelings and everything, because women are so much more open with their energy, that it happens a lot quicker. You think you head over heels over that fuck boy? No. When you meet a woman that you really vibe with, that shit can go from 0 to 365 in like 2 days.
Wow, that's interesting.
And so that's what happened with me. She asked me that, and I was like, well, I didn't even know if I had thought about being with a girl. I don't think I had, but I said yes anyway. I was like, okay, what this bitch trying to do to me? I want to know what's happening. Like, you feel like you're away, you have this freedom, and like that's what it was, and that's how it began. But I'm telling you, after like day 1 and day 2, it was like, shit, we together forever. I love this bitch. We love each other. We just having a good old time. Like, it was some crazy. I mean, after that, I maybe had like 1 or 2 other female experiences, like brief, very like random, quick, not like fully all the way, but just like, that was my very first experience, and we began to be in a full-on relationship. Then she met another dude. It was like I had a boyfriend, she met a guy. Like, it was like shit gets complicated with women, just like it gets with women and
worse.
men.
They crazy.
It does. It's
I've
crazy.
never like related that deeply to another woman. Like, I've been with a woman one-on-one in college. I actually felt like she took advantage of me, but that's another conversation.
Maybe
But
somebody felt like I took advantage. I don't know. She took advantage of me, but I probably took advantage of another one in my life. I don't know.
but I feel like that's an exploratory time of your life. That's why it's so common that people do that, you know. And I feel like it's kind of like that age is trickling into like high school age and like teenage years. Like, these teenagers are very exploratory. Okay, what's your story?
High school is almost like college now.
At this point,
kind of goes back.
It is.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
No.
that's what. Yeah.
I've lived. I had my first threesome in summer camp, and I was on ecstasy, and it was awesome.
How old were
Everything
you?
is awesome.
I was like 16.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good times. It was with like this white girl and this mixed dude. We was fucked up. But then his dick wasn't that big, so I was like, what are we doing?
But that's what the E is for.
And then I left them. And then I left them. I was like,
That's what the E is
as you
for.
were,
That's
you
what
guys
the
can
E is
continue.
for. I love
And
it.
then honestly, the best, well, the second best sexual experience I've ever had was with a woman. So before I got married, I dated this girl for like 6 months. And I used to work with her at the school in the Bronx, right? And she was like, she was a para. She came for one student.
Were you the like in the not in the situation? Were you the more aggressive one? Or was
Absolutely
she?
not. So here's what
okay.
had happened, right? I was a dance teacher, right? So she would always come into my room like during lunchtime and like when she had a break or whatever to just chill. And there was this other older lesbian lady who was another dance teacher. She was on my body too, right? So I was just like, yo. So she would just come chill, whatever. So like one day, like she comes in and she's like, "What's?" I was like, "Yo, what we having for lunch?" And she was like, "You."
You were like,
okay. Like, no problem. And and then from there, we were like dating, and like sexually, it was like one of the best experiences I've ever had, just because it's a woman, and she didn't care for me to pleasure her. It was all about me, right? At the same time, it was traumatizing because it was the first time I had like this full-on mandingo dildo. And I was like, yo, you dislocated my vagina and I can't like do this again. But then the second time, it was all right. And then like she lived in like she had a view of Central Park. Like she took me to Alvin Ailey for my birthday. Like, but then she had like
so where?
Alvin Ailey.
Oh yes.
For my birthday. Like, it was great. But then I remember, oops, I'm about to get married. And I like dick. I'm not. And she got possessive to the point where she was like, you can't have these dudes hitting you up, and I don't want you messing with dudes anymore.
Happens.
And I was like, ma'am, hi. Yeah. I've been fucking with penis for a good 16, 17 years.
Than men. I'm telling you, because you open up quickly. You feel like
I don't even eat pretzels. I don't even know how you got these in my hand.
These are pretty good.
But
these are Tories. I'm eating them.
But
fuck it.
Some people, I've known people that like never experienced it like in their younger age, and like now they're like, all right, I'm gonna get down with this, and they enjoy it more because clearly you have a better connection with a female than you do with a male.
But you have a better connection with yourself,
with yourself
and
too.
so you're able to share those female connections a little bit easier because you don't have the taboo of feeling.
But at the same time, I ain't dick all the time. Like, I ain't dick. But again, weekends and holidays, things can happen.
Weekends and holidays.
Things can happen. Like as we snack on our
Memorial
snacks,
Day in Miami. I mean, you might.
as we snack on our snacks, let's be clear. Tiffany's going on vacation. Are you supposed where you
Mhm.
going or you hiding?
when are you
You didn't want to
going?
hide us from the world.
No.
You wanted to hide the world from us.
Yeah,
Huh?
I'm going to the Florida Keys.
So
Ooh.
nice.
She gonna be basking in the
I'm-
sun.
I'm going to the Florida Keys next weekend, so I will not be here this next Saturday with you
Mhm.
guys or whatever. So, you know,
I'm
That's gonna be
chewing and
nice.
chomping.
it's gonna be nice to be able to like have a little vacation and
The Florida
have some
Keys are
time
beautiful.
away. The Florida Keys are
We all
definitely
need a
beautiful.
vacation.
Yes.
And I needed that. I mean, this summer for me is going to be really, really intense.
Mm.
So, you know, whatever. It's one Saturday. What we gonna do?
Well, you're gonna have fun, enjoy, be safe.
I'm gonna come back a little toasted almond.
As you should.
Mm-hmm.
And right in springtime, gonna be hitting when you get back. Bring
You're
all
gonna
the
be
sunshine
glowing.
back
Yeah,
with
I'm
you.
gonna bring all the sunshine.
So this is part 3 with the spiritual gangster,
Mhm.
Miss Antonika. We appreciate you so much, and we can't wait to have you back again and again and again and again and
Mhm.
again.
I'll tell you a funny story. Yesterday, I have like some people I'm working with for like marketing and stuff. I'm trying to be a big girl and adult, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, we were trying to come up with some different concepts about something. And I'm like, well, what do people call you? And I was like, well, my newest name is Spiritual Gangster. And everybody started busting out laughing. I'm like,
There's
but
somebody
I'm
that
dead
calls
ass.
themselves that. That's
and,
like the,
and
that's
so
the thing,
somebody
yeah.
said that, and they were like,
Mm.
"What about that?" I'm like, "It would have been used. There's a clothing line that's supposed like." But it was
Yeah.
just funny that I found myself saying that, and it felt good
Right.
because I have students that used to call me Gangster Yogi like 2 years ago, and so it's like kind of similar.
I like
That's
that,
where it
Yogi
came from.
Gangster.
That's
When
where
you
it
do that,
came
Yogi
from.
Gangster.
I know about the spiritual gangster clothing line or whatever, but
Mhm.
when I thought about you and I thought about how badass you are, but also how zen you are, like I know it's a clothing line, but I still called you the spiritual gangster because for me that's what you were. Like
Thank
you
you,
know what I
boo.
mean?
I
was
like
you
my
know,
name.
mhm.
I'm here for it.
I think that
And thank
it's
you, ladies.
okay to be, like you said,
To be both,
to be both, like
right?
what
To
you talked about the
embrace.
first time, where you're